Thank you. Thanks to all of you who came to OU from off campus. Really appreciate your sharing your time with us today, and thanks to the Water Center for putting this on. So I'm Andy in Geology and Geophysics, and in Geology and Geophysics we're thinking about the Earth today and we're thinking about Earth's past. And particularly in our research group, we're thinking about how does water interacting with the Earth affect the chemistry of that water. And I mean, just looking at this photo, we can think, okay, well, we know the oceans are salty because of the interaction of Earth's water with the geosphere. And that's kind of what we think about. But in our research group, our expertise is more thinking of if we look at the rocks or the sediments or the soils, and how do those in our local areas impact the water quality. And for example, our specific expertise is also kind of zooming in and saying, it's really these molecular scale processes that happen, one at a time that control the macro scale behavior we observe. So we try to link that together, the study of things like rock cores and sediment cores, to zooming in and looking at individual minerals and the characteristics of those. You can see on the right-hand side, well, in the center, that is a little star of iron oxide sitting on a Garber-Wellington rock grain surface, little tiny. And then these little beautiful hematite, we think a lot about barite roses, but the rocks are loaded with these tiny little hematite roses that give the rock its red color. We don't normally think about that. But then on the far right-hand side is one of these iron oxide stars that we collected directly from groundwater in the city of Norman. And you can kind of imagine, look at the characteristics of that particular mineral and how it's made up of these little tiny pieces where, water can get in and interact with that mineral. And it's those specific interactions of the different constituents of the water, the organisms that are living in it, and all that actually control a lot of what's going on with our water quality. So in our group, our expertise is kind of linking these individual small mineral scales with, for example, water quality, but we work on a lot of other projects with small minerals, like in faults. When faults slip past each other, they make tiny minerals, and it's almost like if you've played with Play-Doh, you make little roller bearings. We worked on, we collected nanodiamonds from sediments in Oklahoma as a signature of impactor that came into Earth's atmosphere and affected climate and cultural patterns and all kinds of things, and worked with Elwood Madden a lot on looking at water on Mars and the history of water on Mars and the signature that it leaves behind. But here for OU Water Day, really the message is anytime the chemistry of a water relates to reactions with minerals, rocks, or sediments, we're really interested. And worked with people from dozens of different institutions on a wide variety of projects, and many people in this room, and people at the dental school thinking about how dental implants are affected by the chemistry of fluids. All these kind of things we're really interested in. Specifically, maybe with many of you and partnering with you, one of the things that we're working on is the chemistry of metals like arsenic, chromium, manganese, uranium, and their reactions with minerals and microbes. And then partnering with biologists and microbiologists on bioremediation strategies. So just to give one quick example, chromium in the city of Norman, we're still number one. And I will say that the city of Norman has been very helpful and incredibly proactive on thinking about this and what we're going to do about it. So let me just show you some quick data from the USGS NWIS, and the message that one of the things we'd like from partners is some more data that's taken from specific depths in wells. Because when we have groundwater data like that, we can see here the gray values are the gray groundwater samples plot are low chromium, and the bright colors, those are high chromium. And look how tight that trend is. So that's what's telling us there are specific interactions with minerals and water that's controlling this chemistry. And that's what we can help with by combining, lab experiments, field collection, You know, all of these things that we cycle around, we do geochemical modeling, and we try to really understand what's happening in the environment and its distribution. And it's all about the students, and hopefully we can find more opportunities for students to get involved, working with all of you as well. Thank you.